Hi guys, so today I'm going to be filming a new fancy kind of video for you guys. So if you haven't seen my other videos, this is my ATs binder and I do make fillers for every single page. Fillers are these little back thingies, and I also have this little fancy doohickey where it makes a picture and you know, all these kinds of things. So I figured I'd show you how I make these kind of fancy things, especially since with the new ATs come back, I have to make more fillers for them. I'm gonna show you the way I do it and then like a cheaper way to do it, I guess, because I use a Cricut machine to make my fillers, but a lot of people might not have that. So I figured I would try and show you guys a way that you would be able to do it with or without a Cricut machine, just because Cricut machines run for $200 and you know, that's just not the life of a K-pop stan. We would rather spend it on photo cards and albums, you know. But anyways, let's get into the video.
Alright guys, so the first step to making fillers is to measure your 9-pocket sleeves or whatever size sleeves you're using. You want to make sure that you're measuring like just above the seam or just like a smidge next to the seam, because you don't want the fillers to fit too perfectly, otherwise they'll get all crinkly and it'll be really hard to get them in and out of the sleeves. So here I'm just measuring the width and the height of the photo card sleeves. And it also might take you a couple tries to get the right measurement, because you don't want to be too exact or the sleeves will not fit right. Also, don't get discouraged if you don't know how to read a ruler. I definitely don't, and I have to Google it every time, and I'm like almost done with college at this point, so don't be too worried about it. So here are the measurements that I found work the best for my sleeves, and yours might be different, you know, that's chill. And now we're going to move on to the Cricut design space.
So we are in the Cricut design space, so we can make our little like squares to cut out that will perfectly fit our 9 pockets. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to shapes. We're gonna hit square, okay? And then you want to unlock this little lock up here because we don't want a square, we want a rectangle. So I've done some like testing with the measurements. In here for our height, we're gonna put 3.625 because that's our height that we measured out, and then in here we're going to put 2.620 because we measured out 0.625, but we don't want it to be so exact that it fits too snug into our sleeves. We want to make it just a little bit smaller. So, and then all you have to do, I like to lock it so it doesn't mess up the proportions at all, but you want to duplicate the square 9 times. So we hit 1, 2, so we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you don't have to arrange them at all. The great thing about Cricut is that it does it all for you. And on here you can get a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. It's about the size that they use for like scrapbook paper. So like if you go to Michael's or something and there's like those big like books of just scrapbook paper, those are usually 12 by 12, and that will fit perfect on like the standard mat that comes with the Cricut. It is 12 by 12 as well, so you can use those on there. But if you want to use like a cardstock pack or just regular printer paper, you want to go to 8 by 5 by 11, which is like the standard size in the US if you're from the US, but they have a bunch of different options, as you can see, if you're not from the US. But the only thing with using like the regular letter size papers is that it takes up 2 sheets, and on the second sheet is quite a bit of paper that is in use. But if you mess up, you can always like use this extra paper for like more squares. So let's go ahead and get cutting. We're gonna hit continue.
Next, we just have to put the paper on the Cricut mat. Just make sure it sticks on there nice and smooth. And then here I set the base material to cardstock. I turn on fast mode because we want to be speedy. And then you just press the C button and the Cricut just does its thing. Now the nice thing with the Cricut is that you can actually draw with it, and you can cut out pictures to be specific sizes as well. And I'm going to be showing you how to do those things later in this video, but this next part I'm going to show you how to make fillers with a simple Word document.
Okay, and now I'm going to show you how to do this on a Word document so you can just like cut out the right sheets that you need. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to layout and then margins and hit narrow margins just so you have more room on the piece of paper. and then we're gonna hit insert, and it's 3x3 is a 9 pocket, but the 3x3s actually don't fit on the Microsoft Word papers within the settings, so we're actually gonna do 2x5, which will give us 10, but it's okay because we'll have just an extra one. And then we're gonna go to layout, and then we're just gonna type in the proportions. We're gonna do 2.625, hit enter, and as you can see, it words very smart and it rounds up to 6.3. So we're actually gonna do 6.62 so we don't go over our limit, but we're still like, it'll be a little bit smaller. And then for 3, we'll do 3.62, and then there you go. And all you'll have to do is print and cut these out. The only disadvantage with using it like this is that it actually takes up 3 sheets of paper instead of 2, but you know, if you have the paper, it won't cost you a lot of ink to do this, and you can just cut these out with scissors or like a paper cutter or anything like that that you have laying around. And yeah.
And now we'll move back to the Cricut tutorial.
Alright, now I'm going to show you how to get your Cricut to actually draw on your cards for you. You know, just in case you want to like label anything. Like sometimes I put like the person's name who I'm collecting, or the album name, which is what I want to do for these ones. So I've just cut out 6 cards, so I only have 3 more to print out. And for one of the cards, I'm going to put a text on it, star 11117. You can, all the text edits are like right below it. And for these, I like to use on here Beboss. Beboss is my favorite font. It's completely free and you can download it, I think, on dafont.com. But yes, it is my favorite one. And you have to change the line type of here to draw, and it's going to make it an outline, and it is actually going to draw it as an outline because, you know, that's just how Cricuts work. But I usually like just fill it in with a marker. So to center it, you just select all of it, then you go to align and then hit center on it, and it's already centered. So if I want to like do it like this, I can do it align, center, and then it will center it on there for me, which is great because we don't want no centering in this house. And so then the most important step is to attach it. So you want to select all of it again and right click and hit attach, so it will draw on this one piece, and they're grouped together. Thinks of them like as a group, so it'll draw on this section and then cut it out. So now we're gonna make it.
So here's the Cricut drawing out the text I told it to draw, and I really don't know how I am the biggest idiot in the world and didn't realize that I had an extra 1 in there. Like I even said 11117, like I literally have a star 1117 tattoo on my wrist. Like what am I doing? And here's me even coloring it in still without realizing it. Like I haven't realized it until as I'm editing this video, like what is going on? And here's what the fillers look like inserted. Sometimes they fit a little bit too snugly. Like it just depends on like the pocket, honestly, and like the paper, because like the Cricut's obviously not perfect, and so sometimes I do have to trim it, but it's still a lot nicer and you get a nice cleaner cut than if you hand cut it out. But I still think either way it looks nice, even though I put an extra 1 in my star 1117, but it's fine. I'll change it later, I promise. So now I'm going to show you how to make picture fillers on the Cricut as well.
Okay, so these are the 4 that are the size of the photo cards, and you want to insert, you know, each picture. I'm just gonna do it like one at a time right now. It's gonna upload really big. It's a really big file, and we're just gonna make it real small, like crunch it up in there, and we are going to turn it, or however you want to do it. We're gonna make this 261, and it's a little bit bigger than what we would like, but that's okay. And then it'll just, so when you do this, when you attach these two, it'll cut out these little edges, but it doesn't really matter because you know, we're not cutting out anyone's faces or whatever. So, and then we're gonna put this over top of it, and we are going to attach, and then we're gonna do that for all of the pictures, just because we don't want it to look stretched. So like it's fine if it like cuts off little bits of it. Anyways, you guys get the gist here, and I will see you guys with the finished product later.
So the added step with this one is that you actually have to print out your paper before you cut it. And those little black lines are what the Cricut senses, so it knows where to cut. And some of the pictures are overlapping, but that's okay. And then we just load the paper onto the Cricut mat, and then it's ready to be cut. And when you take your paper off the mat, you'll notice these tiny little edges that you have to take off. Those are just the extra bits that won't fit in the sleeves. But when you're done, you should have a nice photo card shaped group picture. Well, that's all for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope it helped you a lot. I absolutely love making these little group card fillers because AT's stopped doing group cards and it like really messed up the layout on my binders. So I needed to make something to actually fill that space. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like these. I am definitely making some more tutorials in the future. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Bye!